chairman.
Vice chairman has already fallen down on his job today, so we'll go ahead and call the meeting to order. We're going to do a quick roll call. Stephanie?
Here.
Harvey?
Here.
Aretha? Here. Dr. Tony?
Here.
Who else we missing? Anybody else? Is Ken on the phone?
No.
He's not calling in, okay. Fantastic. Also, I guess we'll go ahead and start the meeting with indications. You all please bow your heads. Heavenly Father, we lift up our community, Lord, to you, Lord, and ask that you would be with each individual, each family member, and also with each neighborhood, Lord, and ask that you would just provide them with some health, Lord, and good health care, Lord. And also we ask, Lord, that you would take this team here and this leadership to our Lord, that you would instill with us and the things you'd have us do with this committee here, Lord, and to provide the kind of health care need our community so desperately needs, and let them know that they're loved by us, Lord. And I take this in your name, we pray. Amen. All righty, we're going to move on to public comment. Looking around, is there anybody from the public like to comment? Seeing none, we will move on to number 3 in the agenda. You should have in your packet the minutes for the August 22nd board meeting, as well as the August 22nd balanced scorecard workshop and the September 3rd pillar budget workshop. What I need to do is entertain a motion to approve those minutes. I can do them all at one time if it's okay.
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second. Any further discussion? If not, motion carries and the minutes are approved. Now we'll move on to new business. CEO update. Kirk?
Okay, let's do this real quick. First, I wanted to let the board know that there was a very successful 8th annual Ocala Recovery Fest, and we helped work on that. Endeavor did a great job of helping MC that event. We had over 1,100 attendees and lots of providers of behavioral health services and substance use disorder services. And it's probably the best one that I've seen from the standpoint of just the engagement and community members, people in recovery coming together, meeting as groups, and then lots of individuals going up getting information from the service providers. So it was the perfect engagement that we needed in this community. Also, Kevin Ryan issued a proclamation recognizing Recovery Month. Mayor Ben Marciano was there also. He presented the Chief Greg Graham Recovery Champion Award, and that went to Lena Studoff, who, if you don't know her, she is a true leader in the community, working for the court system here in the problem-solving courts, and it was very well justified that she received that. She's been a great advocate on behalf of the courts for those individuals that are going through substance use disorder issues, and she's very knowledgeable. Isn't she retired also?
That's part of the reason she's over 30 years and now she's retiring, so.
So it was a perfect timing for her to receive this award.
Second time.
Well, she's retired from that.
So also, I wanted to let the board know that we have 2 staff members who are here. And I want to take a moment to highlight 2 of our team members whose dedication truly embodies the mission of the Marion County Hospital District. They won the Ovations Award, which is given to those who go above and beyond in serving others with compassion, kindness, and respect. And these 2 wonderful individuals that happen to work for the hospital district truly do exemplify compassion and kindness and respect to our citizens. This month, the award goes to Shayna and Diana, who work for our community home project.
And as a token of our appreciation for, you guys come to work every single day and work hard, long hours, sometimes on weekends and all kinds of things, and I can't think of 2 better people to receive an award, but as a token of our appreciation.
Thank you.
Yeah. That's the third aspect of the gift.
Congratulations, man, thank you so much.
Sorry to the rest of the staff that don't get to hear that. I also wanted to point out, let me move this forward. Oh yeah, there they are, Ladies Board. They're always smiling. Senior Services, the board approved purchase of this new vehicle for them, and they sent out a video of appreciation and also this picture. And this is a great way. They've already been utilizing it, and they've been giving us updates about the utilization for Marion Senior Services. And they work with paramedicine, and this will help them with all their initiatives that tie into our unintended injuries, unintentional injuries, particularly fall prevention. And this is one of the leading causes of serious injury in Marion County, and so they're already using it, and they're going to do a great job of providing us with data on our utilization.
What did they get? What is that?
Is
What
it a
kind of
Kia?
car? Is that-
Well, Kia?
Did it tell you right?
What did they end up getting, do you remember? I don't know what kind of car it is.
I had a picture. Yeah, I think you're right, or some version of it.
Yeah.
I think it's a Kia. And then also, the SMA, it's like the Bermuda Triangle.
This
That
is when-
SMA
This is how
basketball
long
court.
ago that this was approved, because David Cope was on our board, and he helped helped with this project and helped find the different providers, but it is finally finished.
It's cute.
So it's a multi-purpose use court, and it needed a lot of work at SMA. They inherited it from the centers, and this was a place where they incorporate this for anyone that's in inpatient care, children, adults, and it's part of their recovery process, particularly when they are at the facility longer term. So we're just thrilled, and Deborah did a great job of laying down the gauntlet of ensuring it was just everything was going against us on completing this project. So it's finally there. This is not AI. It is a real court.
When I sent this to him, he did ask me if it was AI. I was like, no, I swear.
There's pickleball courts in it as well?
It transitions into
Yes.
all different volleyball, pickleball, basketball.
They do lots of group ball games, and it's part, and it's really something that we were hoping would be in there 2 years ago. It is finally there. That's all I have for my CEO report.
Thank you, Kurt. We'll move on into the operations. The first agenda item on that is our Training Innovation Center. This is the adjacent 4,500 square feet, the main office here. I'm going to ask Kurt to give a little more detail about it. Because we had some discussion about it, but now we're ready to take action on it.
Yeah, so this is something that was in the budget. We covered through one-on-ones also in considerably more detail, but this transformed our space right next door that's been laying vacant for some time. We had plans over the last couple of years, and we would really like to pull the trigger on utilizing the facility into a flexible, multi-purpose training and innovation center where we would offer health education, diabetes, the deep education classes, professional training for the GME students, and also we're utilizing that for our CPR first aid and choking mitigation trainings. And then also use that as a center where we could, it's multiple use because there's an open center in the middle where there'd be a space for people to sit and participate in trainings. At the back end, we would have a kitchen for demonstrating how to prepare healthy meals. And also we would create a repository of these cooking classes and bring in various chefs from around Marion County, local celebrities to create healthy meals on a budget, and we would offer that repository on our website, so they would do that in there as part of the trainings for classes. And then at the very front end, as you walk in, we would have 3 offices, and it would be available for diagnostics. So when we partner with either University of Florida or the Ross Camp Institute or the Brain Institute up at UF, bringing in state-of-the-art clinical trials to Marion County, we actually have a space where they can utilize when they come into town, places where they can continue their research right here on campus, and also provide training right there on site. So hopefully it's there, we can offer it and not have to wait too long for construction. And in the budget, I think it was $575,000 that we allocated. That was an estimate that we're given by square foot. And I think Harvey, you offered to maybe thank you, to help oversee selection of someone for construction. And there's a very formal process we have to go through. Deborah's very adept at it to get the bids, and was it Demand Star?
Yeah, we utilize a platform called Demand Star, and it pushes it out to every construction organization across the state of Florida that would be interested in this project. And we can put parameters in it, how we want it to fit, but the first part of it would be to have legal drop an RFP for the process.
So this is approval for what was presented in the budget, $575,000 as an initial estimate set aside for construction and finishing the facility, but the actual final amount hopefully will come under that once we get the bids in.
So, as part of our package, we include getting an architect to give them a plan to bid off?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because we have to do that first before we go off from there.
Okay. Yeah.
But do we have to bid the architect? Or?
Yeah, we do, if it's over a certain threshold.
What is that?
It's,
Sorry,
I think it's
to put you
70,
on the spot.
no, it's okay, I think it's 75.
So we may not need one. We might be able to get somebody to do it for us.
Okay.
I just think.
Hartman, who did this office,
Yeah.
she drew up those plans previously.
Yeah.
It's just, if you sent that out, it'd just be hard to get a real bid. Put it real.
And I would have to check.
So why don't we reach out to her and see what the cost would be, because if it's under our limit, we can.
I think it would be
You can
under-
negotiate.
Yeah.
For the architect, not for the,
Right.
just for the architect, because you don't want to put it out for bid without being able.
Yeah, you would do that.
And then everybody just gonna give you a generic bid.
And
Well,
she's the
then-
one that did, so when
No,
we
she's good.
did this building, she did
Who, is this the architect?
this
Yeah.
in Barton. She, as well as Talon, like she did all the design plans for this office. She also did some plans for that office space next door and did like some plumbing and some other, and Talon did some of the work already initially over there.
So up to $500,000 currently in the budget to do these improvements. Does that include architectural fees?
It
It does.
Right now, yeah, I mean, it shouldn't cost that much, but they got a number in the budget, but we really need the architect, if we vote and approve it, obviously, we need to get the architect to go and get us a plan before we do advertise for bids.
So maybe we should do this, Kurt,
Yeah.
and that is, take action to, at least this point in time, I'll ask for a motion to approve the architect.
I think this is a budget, right?
No, it's already approved in the budget right now.
Budget has not been formally approved yet.
But it will be, in this process here, Art, is this to approve the project itself,
Yes,
which is also in the budget, right?
Yes.
So conceptually, this project then.
Right.
Okay.
conceptually it's.
But then to keep the ball rolling, shall I say, if we can also entertain a motion to approve the architect, okay, so at least you can negotiate now the architect to get that rolling.
I think,
As soon as it falls under the threshold.
right, if it falls on the threshold, we should go with Michelle Hartman, because she did the previous one as well,
But
so we can negotiate with her, because you can't, I don't even think you're legally allowed to bid architects. I think you have to have them just submit their ability, and then you have to pick
Right.
one. I mean, you know, so cost-wise, you don't even get a choice.
I think it would be significantly under the threshold.
Yeah.
But I think within our operating procedures, I don't know that you have do you have the authority to enter into a contract, or what's your threshold for contract negotiations?
You would have to, so it's $10,000, so.
Okay, so I'm just trying to,
Yes.
this makes
Right.
sense.
Yes, it
To
does.
to come back next month to give you approval to go into an agreement with the architect, so assuming it's over $10,000, I mean,
Yeah.
does it make sense to take action today to give Kurt the authority?
So
To go
if we assume that, how many square feet is it?
4,500.
feet?
Wait a minute,
4,500.
4,500 square feet, so if we use 200, 300 dollars a square foot, so that's something like 150,000, right? So it's probably 15 grand to do this.
Architecting? Okay.
So I think we can approve something under 25,000.
Let's do this, and I'm not, I mean, if I get someone to throw out a motion out there to approve, to spend up to $25,000 of our $500,000 budget towards architect, and what's the lady's name?
Michelle Hartman.
Yeah, negotiate with her,
Do
architectural fees and services.
you have to first approve the project?
Pardon?
Do you first have to approve this project?
Well, I mean, assuming that the project is budget dollars for it, yeah, which we'll find out later. Does that make sense?
Motion to approve the project? Okay, motion to approve this project.
Second. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Opposed, like sign? Okay, motion carries.
Now you can tell them.
Now, I need to entertain a motion to approve, to spend up to $25,000 to engage, can't remember her name.
Michelle Park.
Michelle Park.
Motion to approve up to $25,000 for architect, with Kurt being the individual to select said architect.
Second?
Second.
Second. Further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign? Thank you.
Whichever way you all do that, I'll see them.
Okay, yes.
Thank you, Ronnie. Moving on, low income pool for Heart of Florida, is that you or Matt?
So, yeah, so, Matt, so just remind me in the line on what the dollar amount is, I just don't have it right in front of me.
I have it right here. Hard for a lift is $187,742 expected.
So the only reason we did a pullout out of that from the budget is because there's a really fast turnaround time. In fact, right after this meeting, I would have to sign the document. So this is for us to draw down maximum dollars from ACA to come to Marion County to pay for indigent care, dental services, behavioral health services, and primary care. So this is to approve the
$742.
$742 of our obligation to pay ACA that then comes back to Heart of Florida. And I'm doing it just so it's separate and it's easy for me to send to ACA showing that the board did approve this specifically.
Has council reviewed this document?
Yes, we have. And
And
it's approved for form and legality. Form and legality.
Wow.
It's very
all right,
And this leverages what kind of services from MACA?
So this is to pay Heart of Florida to reimburse them not only our $187,000 plus $1,000, but also usually then 55 to 60% more comes from a state block grant that we receive that comes through ACA to pay for uninsured behavioral health, dental services, and primary care at Heart of Florida.
So it'll be approximately 250% of that total sum that will come back to Heart of Florida.
Yeah.
Okay.
It requires intergovernmental transfer of funds, so only government entities can participate in the LIP with the not-for-profit organization. So more that, we send up $187,000 plus and somewhere around 250 to 260 will come back down directly from the state to Hartford for that aging care.
So, more than 150%, not 200. But still.
150% more than what we were.
Yes.
More.
Yeah, we're not getting double, we're getting
Right,
1.5%.
yeah.
Which is still great, better than what we're getting in our
Yeah, this-
previous discussion.
Yes. Yes.
We have to negotiate that percentage or no? Was that just state grant?
They base it on previous year's indigent, so they're constantly, Heart of Florida constantly has to upload into their EHR database certain categories of people served and their income level, and it's set. They say this is a maximum. A lot of communities don't have hospital districts, and the government, local government doesn't want to have taxpayers take on the burden of the cost of it. So here, we're able to pay for the maximum amount, which is the 187 plus. Some communities, which is interesting, they don't put in anything and they don't get any of those block grant dollars. And occasionally, we've seen in the past where when some other counties do not participate, occasionally we actually get more. They just never guarantee up front.
Motion.
Is there a motion? Okay, a second.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Those like sign. Motion carries. I think we also have another match low-income pool agreement with SMA.
Yes, so same deal. The only difference is this is not called low-income pool, this is called match. It's the exact same concept though. And what's down up?
1.4 million.
$1.4 million is the maximum opportunity for us to draw on maximum dollars again from ACA. And so the only difference here is SMA, traditionally we provide the match dollars to SMA and then they notify ACA how much they received, and then they get money sent to them through, again, I think it's a state block grant. This time, they said, hey, we might be able to get more funding drawn to Marion County if you pay some of that 1.4 million to $1 million. If-
Not to exceed.
not to exceed $1 million directly to ACA. So we're going to get better leverage this year. And this will be the first time that we've had that opportunity to split the payment between SMA and ACA. So they just said if we could remain a little flexible with how we split the funds. But either way, all the money will come back to SMA and serving Marion County citizens only.
And this is something that we have been doing before.
Yes.
It's just our way of getting that money there, getting it.
Yes, it's another one that I believe requires a intergovernmental taxing authority like the hospital district. In the county, they used to provide this, but we came to an agreement about 5-6 years ago that we would take on that obligation since we have mechanisms to monitor the services and they didn't.
Motion.
Council's reviewed this one too?
We have reviewed this one as well.
Parker's motion, or a second?
Second.
Second. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, like sign. That motion carries. Moving into strategic initiatives, performance measurements, 25-26.
That is me. So in your packet, you have all of the performance measures for 25 and 26. If we have questions, we can ask some staff, but if not, we just need approval and we can move on with their performance measures.
Is there anything that,
I sent them out ahead of time.
Any questions on the goals that have been established or ones that have been changed? These are also all in the
Packet sent out
package,
before the
and
meeting.
also in the mind share.
These will be converted to mindshare once they're approved. And there will be the scorecards that you guys can look at for each of the individual programs, grants, income.
Yeah. And we do this on an annual basis, right? And these are all the targets that we've established in different areas on how to measure. Okay, I'll entertain a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second. Yes.
Any further discussion?
No.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign? That motion carries. All right, steps up again with the
Okay.
Marion County Public School Playground at Shady Hill.
So there was, we approved, before I was on the board, we approved a playground for Bellevue Santos School. But Bellevue Santos is closing in the next 3 to 5 years. And so Shady Hill only has one little VPK or kindergarten playground. And it was thought that we could use this already approved money for Bellevue Santos, move it over to Shady Hill, but we need approval for that. And I did drive by Shady Hill because I drive by there a lot, and I'm like, they definitely have a playground, but it is only one little structure.
And it's for VPK
And
only,
it's
not
for-
for elementary.
It's not even for kindergarten, yeah.
No, you can't share. That's what we
That's
learned, is you can't share
Okay.
it.
So we need approval to transfer the playground money from Bellevue Santos to Shady Hill.
Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second,
Any further discussion?
quick question.
Yes.
This thing got stalled because we didn't have it right last time, so do we have it right this time?
We have it right this time, and I also made
How
sure
we get the money there?
how, yes, and also I guaranteed that this playground could be built within this coming fiscal year versus waiting years like, what I talked about the basketball court and some other projects. So they said they could get it done by February. If approved.
And we're just funding it, we're not building it.
Correct.
Oh, man.
I already said he would, but they felt playground.
Or you're in charge.
Yeah, it would not be done by February.
Any more questions?
Sorry, thank you.
No, that's good. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. That motion carries. Now we go into program innovation, research and development. Stephanie.
Okay, I think I'm gonna turn this over to Kurt or Deb.
Okay, so this is the line item that's been in the budget, that we've presented several times regarding the $100,000, and what falls under there are several different aspects of us continually moving to bring innovative services. Previously, we just had individual line items, so we just lumped them all together, and I'm hoping it's enough, but this is everything from diagnostics, working with the UF McKnight Center, the Fixel Brain Institute, Powell Gene Therapy Center, hopefully the Ross Camp Institute, and to bring trials and also help out if they do blood draws or need diagnostic equipment, to bring in some of their trials for Alzheimer's, dementia, and metabolic disease. Also, hopefully bringing some of their work on, I sent out some white papers that probably made everyone fall asleep, regarding clotho-based therapies and some of the innovations for neurodegenerative innovations. So also working with biometric devices and innovative diagnostic tools. This is what helped us bring in the idea of liquid biopsies for cancer previously. This will also help fund our data scientist that's going to have to work on an update for our Blue Sky study for first responders, evaluating their resiliency and the efficacy of some of the work that we've implemented over the last 2 years to ensure that the interventions for self-harm and resiliency are effective. And then also it's to help out, this ties in to some degree to the build out next door, those offices that are out front, so we can actually bring in some of these clinical trials to the facility over here. So this is, some of this funding is for consulting and some of this funding is for setting up camp for some of our research partners.
I think my question to you when we discussed it was, is that enough? And did you say you could come back and
Yeah.
ask for more, because that doesn't seem.
It's not a lot, but what I was hoping for is to, and just in the last week, I've made some incredible contacts. And so what I wanted to do is at least show the spark of what we can do and what we can bring here and bring that to the board first. And this will just make sure that nothing's held up, that I think the 100,000 is enough to just get things set up, and then I work with you and Dr. Harrell and Dr. Orgolani, who's shown some interest in the innovation and research side. And that way I can bring you guys and sit, and then you guys can give me this one's really promising, we should really focus on this, and then I'll come back to the board if we need something later on.
So this one is already in the budget for the dollars amount.
Yes, sir.
This is really just to take action to approve the strategy.
Yes.
So, in our
No,
in our budget thing last month,
It's
these
a-
were all the extras.
I understand that. I mean,
Yeah.
So it's tentatively in our budget if we approve it, but
Right.
it's
so
not
what,
like,
so this action is approving what?
if we
It's
approve
just
this,
a
it gives them
project.
$100,000
Yeah.
to allow them to use this.
Thank you.
It's just pulling it out so it's promising.
Yeah. Then, can I get a motion to approve this program? This program?
Motion to approve.
Okay. Is there a second? Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye. Opposed, like sign. That motion carries.
So the next one is kind of similar. It's for some of these unintentional injury projects. Trying to approve $75,000 for the CPR stuff, first aid, maybe pack and plays for safe sleeping, Narcan, it's kind of like a catch-all. We don't know how much will be needed to allocate for each of these because some other entities will help fund some of these projects. So also asking for the $75,000 to start with this, yes.
Motion.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Any further discussion, questions?
In regard to where the access is this something that's going to be decided in the future, or do we have ideas in regard to where these AEDs, Narcan kits, things of that nature are going to be placed as of right now?
So we're kind of going to tie into the city, the county, and Department of Health have already worked with the first responders looking at the data on where they're responding to for transports and where they're getting calls from. So they've already identified like a heat map of certain locations, like some of the, a lot of pickleball players who might be starting exercise for the first time. And so they deployed both Narcan and AEDs at some of these high-use facilities. Yeah, it's amazing. Outdoors.
So we're going to be looking at heat maps in regard to where the largest percentages of cardiac arrests come from, right? And in those areas, if there's need for AEDs, they're going to be accessible in those areas.
Yes.
And then we can continue to branch out. Is there going to be a maximum amount of AED, like per capita, if you will, like i.e. population? Or is this going to be a max dollar amount? Because they are relatively expensive. If we do like a group purchase, we could get a group, not necessarily a group, but a larger volume, like decreased rate, if you will. And I mean, early CPR, right?
Yes.
And early defibrillation, or with a witness arrest is your two best possibilities of a positive outcome. So I think this is a really important, huge initiative. But as long as we're utilizing that in conjunction with teaching these folks, CPR is going to be beneficial.
Absolutely, and then also the app, the first responder app that they all use to notify, and you probably have it too. But yes, and
So today we approved the dollars, and I think what I'm saying is we want to make sure that when we start divvying the money out, we get a really good plan.
yes, and I'll bring you in on that one too,
Because
because,
potentially we might need potentially more dollar amount for this, right? So I don't know if this is
We can
something that's
always- yeah.
flexible or not in the
Well,
future.
we did middle school a couple years ago. We did-
Elementary and maybe one or two middle schools, because they didn't, first, we were saying kids, we had like almost 100 kids with heart issues in the elementary
So
school
we
system.
did the schools a couple years ago, it was like 15 grand, 30 grand, I forget.
So
It was a
the-
good deal on them.
so our goal is to blend funding, because Department of Health sometimes has access to funding that we don't, directly from the state or from fees that they've collected. So we'd first work on that heat map and then prioritize it, and then we'd look at who has funding for what. And then if,
Maybe even as the hospitals.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's something that's reasonable to do as well.
Mhm.
Go to local hospitals, and also, do we have any leverage against, just the government itself, both federal and state level, to see if they have any match programs for,
We can look into it for sure.
yeah, we definitely would. We've been pretty good at pulling in grants.
no, I mean, that's important.
Yes, you're right.
All right, so we did a motion. We did a motion.
We did a
a
motion.
question. We had a question.
That was my,
Yep. So
discussion.
we're down to all in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, like sign. That motion carries.
Yeah, on the side, but if one of these were to do really good or something, then sometimes we have discretionary funds, they could always come back and ask us for additional funding during the year.
Okay, next one, the Department of Health currently has a program for little kids to have swim lessons up to age 4 for those that are under the lowest poverty rate. We are wanting to expand that up to the age of 10 and have it open to more people. So we're asking for $25,000, right? Yes, to expand the swim voucher program to get more of our kids in Marion County to learn how to swim.
Is that a first come, first served basis? How the vouchers are distributed?
Yeah, they have a maximum amount. Department of Health runs it currently. There's only a few counties that, this was a governor's initiative to offer swim vouchers to reduce incidences. So it is first come, first serve, and they have several people that call in with multiple children, and they say, well, my 6-year-old can't swim, but my 4-year-old is eligible. So they have a wait list for people to say if it ever expands to a 6-year-old, or a 7-year-old, you still can't swim. So Department of Health would still operate this based on available
Oh, they
funding.
do, okay.
Yeah.
So, I'm sorry. Yeah. If the Department of Health offers it, but if top of the world, if they offer the class, they can get the vouchers there and use them there, is that how that works?
Yes, the Department of Health
Just get the
has,
vouchers.
yes, they have a list and
Where they can go?
yes,
Okay.
and I believe they are one of the partners.
Yeah.
Yeah, fast.
Okay, cool.
And I said 10, but it's 12 years old, sorry.
The Department of Health, they actually administer,
Vouchers, just keep the vouchers.
Just the voucher, not,
we're just paying.
not the lessons.
Right. Correct.
And then there's different people like Carlos and other places that will schedule the clinics and try to raise money to have more. So that's good.
All right, I entertain a motion to approve the swim vouchers.
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? If not, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. And that motion carries. Last but not least, the opioid abatement funds update.
Ready to go?
Yeah.
Okay, so, just a refresher, is the opioid abatement funds are funds that the hospital district is managing on behalf of the city and the county. So these projects, they're not funded by the hospital district, they're funded by the opioid abatement funds. So the process is, when we get the hospital district staff, Sarah in particular, who's worked really hard on this, we're very lucky, we have a bench full of very talented individuals. But Sarah's worked really hard on this, Crystal as well. So the core program is that coordinated opioid network of people. The current partners in that is, and this was a governor's initiative a couple years ago. So Marion County has Ocala Fire Rescue, Marion County Fire Rescue, and SMA Healthcare that are part of our core network. So there is funding that's dwindling down, and thankfully we're one of the only counties in the state of Florida that put it in the opioid abatement plan, is to continue funding this because it's such a necessary way to respond to someone that has overdosed in the field. So basically you have first responders in the field, they actually send out an alert system to SMA Healthcare. One of their staff members can respond to the hospitals, can respond to the scene, to really, and the goal of this is to get somebody into recovery. Bottom line is get somebody into recovery. So we had to work real hard with the players to get everybody on the same page so that this funding continues on for years on end, and that it was a very coordinated system of what does a core patient look like, what's their eligibility to be in the core program. So the end, like I said, the end goal is somebody that has overdosed and needs to get into some type of treatment. So after many, many meetings, we've got it finally approved by the opioid abatement committee for $750,000. $250,000 came from Lutheran Services, and this program hopefully will get, next step is to get it approved by the county commission. So that
So
was,
when you say set up to keep on going, is this a 1 year?
so this will be an annual request from the opioid abatement funds. My thing is that that funding is for 18 years, 17, 18 years.
Up to you.
So the way that we have structured this program is that it will be able to continue on in our community without, because Lutheran Services funding is probably going to dry up.
So the
So
opioid.
The opioid
is
abatement
an
will,
18-year,
yeah, it'll keep it going.
okay,
So.
gotcha. All right.
And then the second one was Wear Gloves Dignity House. If you recall, they took over the former domestic violence shelter. They requested $193,800 basically to assist with their facility there. That's also another project that needs to be approved by the county commission. It was approved by the opioid abatement committee, and now it's moving to the next level.
So
And these are funds.
So we're just managing them so basically we're managing on behalf of the city and the county.
okay.
So we work with the different providers when they present a program to us. So we vet the programs, we present it to the opioid abatement committee, who, you've got the chief of police, you've got the sheriff, you've got people from Marion County Fire Rescue, city council, the mayor, Teresa's on there now. You've got all these different individuals, and then once it's approved by that group of individuals, it moves on to the next level. After that, if it is approved by the county commission, then we're responsible for managing it. We're getting paid by the county and the city to manage this project.
So do we vote as a board just to send it on? or do
You
we
don't
not?
get to
This is
vote, this is
informational.
just informational
Okay.
only.
Well, that's
Thank
not
you.
very nice.
Just a teaser, but just to let you know, because some of this ties into our funding too. So with CORE, we're paying for some of the peers out of the hospital district funds. So,
Well, and on record that I support it.
From a boots on the ground perspective, I mean, I can tell you when some of these folks come in via EMS, there is an individual from SMA walking in the room at the exact same time I'm walking in the room the moment the patient arrives.
and that is the
It
best.
does work.
It does work.
Thank you for sharing that, Dr. Orlando. That's the goal of the whole thing.
My pleasure.
All right, we're gonna move into finance. Matt, you're up.
Thank you. First on the agenda is the review of the August financial statements, which begin on page 53 of the packet. The hospital district remains on target with total budget, no significant findings or issues in the last month. Biggest balance sheet items are the community VR investments, which, as mentioned previously, performed well. They returned $4.5 million during the month, so pretty strong month, and brought us in the positive for the year. Any questions about the financial statements as stated?
All right, we'll take a motion to approve the August financials.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Second.
More discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign, motion carries.
And then next on the finance committee agenda is proposal of the budget for final discussion and approval. This is the budget for the 2025-2026 fiscal year, which begins Wednesday. And I mean, we've had a workshop and some individual meetings. I think we've probably answered everything that was to be answered. However, we're seeking final approval tonight of a total budget expending just under $13 million this upcoming fiscal year, all funded by carry forward from current year and budget assets in accordance with the agreement. So we seek a motion to approve it with a ratification agenda item to come probably in the January, February timeframe. We are carrying forward surplus funds to use, and those surplus funds won't be finite until we've closed the financial statement audit in January. So we have a tentative value, pretty accurate in our mind, but it could change a couple thousand here and there. If it's significant, we'll seek ratification in January. But we have a budget that's been discussed at length, and we have the fund, it's within the 4% spend to approve all items not already approved.
All right, the budget is for you. I know staff has spent a lot of time with individual trustees explaining the budget, going over questions and details. Are there any other questions regarding the budget for Matt? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the budget.
So,
Is there a motion to approve? Is there a second?
Second.
Second. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Motion carries. Thanks, Matt. Moving into old business, I'm not aware of any old business, okay, that's good. Now's the opportunity for if any trustees has anything they'd like to discuss.
I just want to say something. My office, we had Brenda and Jesse come, and we're starting the Sept challenge. Whoever wants to do it with us, October 1st to December 31st.
All right, thank you.
Did Rusty just say he accepted the challenge?
Gonna do it?
You want to win, don't you?
I do.
Great. Anything else? If not, we're adjourned. Thank y'all.